But I didn't realize that I feeling so confident, feeling so great about myself. And then it just be completely shattered by one thing. By something so stupid. But then you make me feel crazy. You make me feel like it's my fault. I was in pain.
First kiss took a very long time.
It did.
Did you think he was into you?
I thought he was going to be my new best gay friend.
Yes. I was like, choose your words carefully here, darling.
Yes, it's okay to have a friend of the other gender. But is there just a mere friendship between the two of you? What if you are married or already a part of a committed relationship? What is the stretch of this mere friendship, and how do you keep it under control? This is your host Amelia, and today we are exploring the sensible world of the emotional cheaters. It's been scientifically proven that contemplating a particular person's beauty is just as rewarding of an experience as having sex or being high on drugs. But intriguingly enough, the same thing happens while having our emotional needs validated. When one confesses and is mindfully listened to, when one receives a word of wisdom and comfort, their brain perceives such stimuli as rewards which, in time, could render them addicted as any other pleasurable thing. So in other words, for a married person or a person involved in a committed relationship, the biological reality is a disturbing one. Hormonally, they're simply living in sin. And one could be living in sin all day long if, let's say, in one's office or department, there's a pretty colleague of the opposite sex who understands the art of mindful listening and holds a little too positive and open of an attitude towards one's confessions, concerns, sorrows or grief, due to a wide range of reasons, like stress, a busy work schedule, bad communication and relationship skills, lack of imagination, mental health issues, etc. The official relationship could simply fail to fulfill one's emotional needs, and there's no such thing as a perfect relationship nor a 100% compatibility between partners. As we see, the modern lifestyle offers us opportunities of professional growth and entertainment, but the human being is still vulnerable in regards of biological, emotional or moral matters. The moral vulnerability could ultimately represent a bridge between the emotional infidelity and the sexual one, the actual infidelity as we know it. Any emotional cheating, lack of emotional discipline render one powerless in dealing with some very challenging dilemmas. Should I start a sexual relationship with this very kind, always available person and fulfill our deep emotional connection? Should I just play safe and remain friends? Who is, after all, my real soulmate? At home, everything seems to be dull and monotonous, while online or at work one feels just like floating on air. We often notice that women are a lot more sensitive to such relational aspects than men. For them, the fact that their partner has a girlfriend at work with whom they supposedly share their innermost secrets is perceived as a serious threat. If the partner has just cheated on them with some dumb bimbo, they could probably get over it at the drop of a hat. But women know that emotions keep us together, and the emotional relationships are those that really count. Therefore, a woman is animated by this obsessive desire to feel that her connection with her partner is a top priority for him. After all, she does deserve to be number one, doesn't she? Otherwise, women are doomed to experience a lot of relational anxiety. But how you know you became an emotional cheater?
Tell me true, do you speak with the spirits the way I do? Do you dance their dance with their hands on you? Do you sleep at night?
Alright, look right at me.
Sharing secrets. Your emotional lover is a work colleague, a schoolmate, is someone from the Facebook friends list, or a family friend, and they get to know your problems and concerns even better than your actual partner. The need is real, and it is related to a couple's normal functioning, the need for sibling solidarity. Unless the need is fulfilled outside the couple, which is wrong. Relationship counseling. The problems that you should probably have discussed at home with your partner become the main topic of conversation. Talking to your emotional lover creates a false sense of connection, the illusion of being cared for, and sends a clear but inappropriate message of availability. Being understood. The interaction with the emotional lover takes place under special conditions. On the one hand, these conditions limit the access to them, which breeds passion, and, on the other hand, they filter the experience, showing the nicest aspects of their personality and concealing the less than delightful ones. This empowers your belief in soulmates and makes you think nobody else could understand you like that. Obsession and daydreaming. Someday, the unavoidable will happen. Every concern, event, or situation will remind you about your emotional lover. What they would have to say about that? Does your salad have more salt than it should? What would be their first reaction when finding out about this particular story? At this point, you realize you've crossed the line between plain friendship and something less innocent than that. You start fantasizing about a prospective relationship of other nature with this person. Neglecting the responsibility. Reaching to this level of emotional fulfillment, you feel appreciated and at ease. You find yourself involved in common activities with your emotional lover and tend to forget the fact that you are still married to someone else. It's much harder to focus on chores and errands, on couple events and goals. Feels like there's no time left for such things. The emotional infidelity is at least as dangerous for a couple's stability as the sexual infidelity itself. It is important to acknowledge the fact that emotional cheating, which leads eventually to sexual infidelity, is more dangerous and problematic for a married couple than a merely sexual infidelity, either a short-lived or a lasting one. There's always the possibility that, due to a good moral compass, an emotional infidelity never grows into an actual cheating. This doesn't mean the people involved will suffer any less. On the contrary, being so happy together and realizing you're so constrained by the moral standards of society gives birth to an unbearable burden. But the real solution here is not enforcing the morality, let alone judging and stone throwing. The emotional lovers need a psychological intervention, through which they take responsibility for their choices and their relationships receive a new meaning and a feasible direction. Being capable of managing such conflicts without breaking the homes, affecting children's happiness and the well-being of our partners is a proof of genuine human quality. The daily efforts of intention reiteration represent an important part of the healing process.
Hey, just what is going on? Alex asked me to marry him.
What'd you say?
I said yes.